underway between Boston College and Yale on a Tuesday night. Boston College, of course, in gold, attacking left to right here in Newton, Massachusetts. And a fun matchup that hasn't happened all that often over the years. As you got to look at Kylie Stannard, has really put together 4 consecutive winning seasons now in his 9th year. And as Patty mentioned, one of the teams that can consider themselves Ivy League contenders this year. Two of their 3 losses this year to highly ranked opponents in number 6 SMU and number 7 West Virginia. Also had a loss to UMass that really kind of was a turning point for this group. And again, unbeaten, I should say, in 6 straight. On the Boston College side, Bob Thompson, now in his 5th year in charge. The home record has been very good, and you see just 1 loss to a non-conference foe here in the last 4 seasons.
And really, when you look at this matchup, Jonathan, 2 really well-coached teams, organized, hard to break down, should not be a lot in it tonight.
Last weekend, we told you C.J. Williams got the goal for Boston College. That put them in front against Virginia, and it seemed like maybe ACC win number 1 was in sight as Chris Edwards puts the ball back in play for Yale. And instead, Virginia rallied, able to tie that up 1-1, and so Boston College remains winless in the ACC. Yale, on the other hand, had the good fortune of a Dartmouth red card and able to make the most of that advantage with a 2-0 win, their first of the year in Ivy play. There is C.J. Williams.
Right, you get a look early on at just how stout C.J. Williams is on that back line, going in a solid challenge there on Lagos.
Yale has the targets up for the long throw-in. Jonathan Murphy able to get it away for Boston College. Diego Zaffanella brings it to the near side for Yale. Joseph Farouz with the switch. Shot took a deflection and is banged clear. What are your keys to watch early in this one, Patty? What's going to tell us who's getting on top in the first 15 minutes?
I think you're going to see a lot has to do with where this game is played. Boston College is a team that loves to have the ball. We've seen time and again throughout the fall, they'll dominate in possession. That being said, are they able to impose their style of play on a really tactically sound Yale team, and can they play in the Yale half? On the flip side, Yale also a team that likes to knock the ball around but is unafraid to put it forward and to play a little bit more direct. This game starts to be a little bit more back and forth. You got to think perhaps it's advantage Bulldogs.
Sam Harshey, the left back, part of an extremely experienced and veteran back line that almost never comes off the field. The ball comes back toward Farouz. 16 in navy blue. And Yale will reset. Uncharacteristic misplay by Prestis. It'll be a Boston College throw.
Well, and again, you see where Yale wants to do. They want to get the ball wide and see if they can get service into the box. So many gold shirts, though, behind the ball, as we've seen time and again throughout this fall for Bob Thompson and the Eagles, just putting numbers in really good spots, making it really hard to break down a quality Boston College back line.
Fifth minute, no score. Yale and Boston College, teams that have not made a habit of going head-to-head over the last few years, but it is, if you look back in time, one with a good history. 18th meeting, Boston College the advantage, and they won the most important recent matchup back in the 2019 NCAA tournament, a 3-0 win here, although Yale got a little bit back 2 years ago with a win in New Haven. Before that, they hadn't played since 2009. But Yale, of course, able to drive over today. Not a ton of missed class time. And a chance, I think, Patty, for both teams to kind of make a statement with the postseason in mind. If Boston College has any chance of making the NCAA tournament, this has to be a win. And for Yale, beating any kind of an ACC team is a statement and a check on the mark when the selection committee looks at things come November.
Well, I think that's exactly right. You look at a Yale team coming in with an RPI of 46, that's bubble region, and especially playing in the Ivy League, you're only going to get so many chances to make a statement win. Now, Boston College, we know RPI beyond 100 at 118 needs to get some results if they're going to be in that bubble region, in the picture in a few weeks' time. So there's a lot at stake here today, and both coaches fully aware of it. When we talked to them this week, they both have their sights set continuously on that NCAA tournament and know that this is a must-win.
Alex Umanya was able to switch it there for Rogers. He has an overlap. It's Jake Schaefer, the captain. Now Rogers. Playable for Klein at the back post with Eric Lagos lurking.
And this has been a really positive start for Yale. You see what they're able to do, moving the ball side to side. It's a really good long ball there from Umanya, finding Max Rogers, and then putting it in a wide area. The service here into the box leaves a little bit to be desired there in the end, but this is what Yale wants to do. They want to move you side to side and get the ball into some really big targets there in Lagos and in the middle on the end of that one.
Yeah, it's wound up. Rogers has been playing as kind of a second forward for Yale much of the year. He's wide on the right. Joseph Ferruz wide on the left today with Umanya and Lagos starting up top. This is a Yale team that was...
You'll see rotation in that midfield all day long for Kylie Stannard. They love to start in that 4-4-2, but they will move into a 4-2-3-1. We've seen at times that they'll throw three up front, so really dynamic in the way that they're able to tactically move.
Alfie Hughes on the run for Boston College, number 10 in gold. Ochoa's delivery was allowed to bounce, and Cargill wasn't able to keep that one on the field of play. It'll be a goal kick. Cargill, 24 in gold, sophomore from London. He and Hughes both bringing the UK influence to the Boston College program. See, appeals for a handball, not granted. Lagos pressuring CJ Williams and thought he had a corner coming. And he was correct.
And you see that shout here for the handball on Lagos. Certainly think that one pops up and hits a senior forward in the left, but it's good pressure in the end from Eric Lagos to force CJ Williams into that corner kick.
We told you Rogers can really put in a dangerous dead ball. He gets a chance here early, first corner of the game, and it's not up to his standards. Schaefer's shot was blocked. No call coming there. Hands can go up from Yale. It's not going to do a whole lot. And the Bulldogs are able to win it back. This was something to watch. It's where Yale got in trouble early in the year against UMass, trying to play through pressure. And it does turn the ball over.
And you get to look back at that opportunity for Yale. This one just pops up, and certainly those arms are tucked from Cargill, and a good decision there from center referee John McCloskey to swallow the whistle.
Cargill, neat touch there, but not on the same page with his teammates, and Lagos was able to win it. With Patty Foss, national champion at Virginia. I'm Jonathan Yardley, glad you could join us tonight. Yale and Boston College squaring off. Again, a game both teams have a tie doesn't do them much tonight. They need a win in this one for various reasons, and expecting to see both of them go for it. Boston College back in action Friday at Louisville with 3 ACC games left. Yale with 4 Ivy games left, plus the new Ivy League tournament. And that is certainly a game changer for team after team that we talked to in the Ivies this year. Long ball runs to Murphy, who gets knocked over. Beg your pardon, that was Dos Santos. And you could kind of see his expression of disbelief. Yale is at Harvard on Saturday, so that's always one to circle for them as well. Still have Columbia, Cornell, and Brown to play in the Ivy League.
And you talk about that newly implemented Ivy League tournament, Jonathan. It's such an interesting thing to watch now, because this is an Ivy League, especially this year, that has hopes of multiple bids into that NCAA tournament. Looking at 4 teams in the top 50 of the RPI. If you can get an extra game against a quality opponent, that can be huge with the selection committee as they look to make those at-large bids, let alone the bid for winning the tournament.
I'm not going to lie, I kind of like the tradition of we play everybody once, and the first place team is the champion. There was a lot to that, but we've heard from coaches what this change can mean, both on the men's side and the women's side, adding the tournament, and there's a lot of positives to take from it.
Yeah, I'm not so sure you would love it if you were the coach of an Ivy League team that dropped their first 2 games and didn't have a lot to play for the rest of the conference, but points taken.
Oh, that's a close call. No call coming at the top of the box. Ochoa was wiping some sweat off his brow after that one.
Well, and I think for a good reason. This is a really big decision from our center referee early on. It's just clumsy from Diego Ochoa, going straight through the body of Lagos there. And for me, that's a penalty.
Yeah. Does he get the ball first? Or is Lagos the only one touching ball there?
If he gets the ball first, it's a very small amount. I mean, that is straight through the body of Eric Lagos. I think this is the best look at it for us. Lago clearly there first. There's a touch, a bit of a touch from Ochoa, but there's a lot of contact for me, Jonathan.
I'm a defender, sort of, or I was once upon a time. Ochoa got the benefit of the doubt that time. As you see Eric Lagos, I hope it's a familiar name to you as an American soccer fan. Grandson of Buzz Lagos, nephew of Manny Lagos, son of Gerard Lagos, Minnesota soccer mainstays. And Eric has been off the field a little bit due to injury. We weren't sure we would see him, but he gets the call to start tonight for Yale. A couple of goals on the season.
Just the 2 strikes in front of you. Ready, boys, ready? Let's go, let's go, let's go.
14th minute, no score yet between Yale and Boston College. Talked about Ivy League men's and women's. On the ACC women's side, what a matchup Thursday night. Newly minted number 1 Florida State against number 11 Notre Dame, which just dropped 7 on Miami over the weekend. That's in Tallahassee. 7 Eastern, 6 Central Thursday night right here on ACC Network and, of course, in the ESPN app. North Carolina women dropping from number 1 after being held to a tie by Duke. Duke and Virginia, blue bloods in ACC women's soccer, trying to make their way into the top 6 and get into the ACC tournament, which is normal for them, but looking up the standings this year. ACC men, on the other hand, all 12 teams will play in the tournament. And so Boston College knows if they can get some winning results down the stretch here and pull off a surprise in the ACC tournament, that's another high RPI game that can help them. Xavi O'Neal tripped up for Boston College by Diego Zaffanella of Yale. His name is Xavier, but it's a soccer world. He just goes by Xavi now. See this big shape from Boston College. Gundelach looking long for Alfie Hughes and unable to connect.
It's been a good start for Yale, really, through 15 minutes. They've been frustrating that man, Bob Thompson, in Boston College, not allowing them to play through lines and really get at Yale through possession. If you're Boston College, you got to look at perhaps going over the top, see if you can stretch Yale and pull them out of that shape, because when these Bulldogs get set in those 2 blocks of 4, it's so difficult to break down.
And 2 of Yale's 3 losses to top 10 teams in West Virginia and SMU. The outlier was the loss to UMass 3-0. And that really prompted a change in the way they plan to approach things, and that has certainly yielded results. Since then, wins over UC Irvine, Colgate, St. Joe's. UConn was an important one for them, as you see John McCloskey, the referee, tonight. And then last Saturday's win over Dartmouth, their first in Ivy play after a couple of draws. And you see the turnaround is substantial, right? -5 goal differential in the first 4 games, +8 in the last 6. What's the key to finding a way through these blocks, especially with a little bit of an unusual shape that Boston College played?
I think in that shape, you got to get Xavi O'Neal, Jonathan Murphy wide, because that's where the spaces are going to be to exploit this Yale team. Well, as we've noted, sort of drop into those 2 blocks of 4 and condense the midfield. Not a whole lot of space to play behind the midfield and in front of that Yale back line. Can you stretch them wide and then get at them through those individual wingers?
That was a turnover. Boston College specifically said we can't give the ball away in our own half, and Yale unable to capitalize.
It's just not clean here from C.J. Williams and Boston College here, just forcing it through midfield a little bit. That's what can happen, though, when you have this Yale team that's sitting in those 2 blocks. Just you got to be patient. You got to wait for those windows to open, and when they do, then you can pick your points and pick your times to break down the Bulldogs.
Sam Hershey to throw in for Yale, the left back. Interned at NASA last summer out in California. These guys have some serious summer plans. Sometimes they involve soccer, and sometimes it's anything but. Hear the cries of "Go ahead, Simba!" Simba Odiambo, one of the 6 freshmen starting for Boston College up top. And this will be a free kick for Yale in the attacking half.
And it's another really dangerous spot for Yale. Anything that they get in the attacking half, you got to think they're going to put into the box, see if they can look for some of those big bodies, Jamie Orson, TJ Prestis, and manufacture a goal through a set piece.
There's a look at the line being held by Boston College. 22 yards from goal as Max Rogers prepares to deliver. Flag came up on the far side. It'll be a Boston College free kick coming out.
It's just a little bit overzealous from that attacking unit of Yale. Step offside in the end. But again, you're seeing from Yale what they're committed to do on the set piece, and that's any time that they have one in and around the attacking half, really, of Boston College. They're going to lump balls into the box, see if they can get a bounce and put a chance on Brendan Klein's goal.
That is a risky ball. It got over the head of Ferruz and brought down by Dos Santos. This is O'Neal racing into space, trying to connect with Dos Santos. Couldn't that time. Jonathan Seidman, number 8 in blue, evading pressure. Harshy looking long. Found the feet of Umanya to Ferruz. Joseph Ferruz, cross was deflected. Rogers took his time, lets it go with the left foot, and it hit C.J. Williams on the way through. Harshy's cross didn't get above boot height. O'Neal picks it off. And Boston College will try to settle in for some possession here. Lagos on the move. This is Rogers, wants to get to the left. Has an overlap. Again, Boston College getting so many bodies in the way. Everything from Yale has to get through traffic.
But yet again, it's a bad Boston College giveaway in the midfield that leads to this chance for Yale. It's a half chance in the end, but this is what Yale wants to do. They want to bait you into forcing the ball through the midfield and then get at you in transition in wide areas. You've seen that time and again through the first 20 minutes. It's got to be tighter. It's got to be clear through midfield for Boston College.
Well, where are we in this season in ACC men's soccer? Boston College looking up at the standings, but there's been some surprises, Patty. Not exactly the way we've expected it all to go.
Well, I think it's tighter than we thought it would be, certainly as we build into the ACC. There's a lot of parity in the league, but there's some real teams that have built into this fall, one of them being those Fighting Irish of Notre Dame, and then Wake Forest, yet again, year after year at the top of the table.
Another turnover, Lagos taken down, penalty kick coming. Another turnover, exactly what Boston College needed to avoid.
Exactly what we're talking about. It's C.J. Williams forcing a ball into midfield, and then a really good slip here to find Lagos. Williams a step late and a dollar short there, and it's certainly a penalty for me and John McCloskey pointing to the spot.
Yellow card for Williams as well. And that was pretty clear cut.
And we just talked about, Jonathan, that it's just unnecessary from Boston College forcing those passes into midfield. It's what Yale's baiting them to do, and they were rewarded for setting up in those 2 blocks of 4. TJ
Prestis, the center back, scored against Colgate. He scores here in off the post. Can't hit it any cleaner than that, and Yale leads on the road.
Well, Yale has been the better team through the first 20 minutes of this game, and they're rewarded with a penalty kick. The junior TJ Prestis steps up from that center back spot and smashes this one past Brendan Klein, goes the right way, kisses it off the post, 1-0 to the Bulldogs.
This is a team that missed 4 penalty kicks last year. Of course, they got 10, so they were 6 for 10 on penalties last year. This year, 2 for 2 with the center back Prestis converting them both.
As you know, you can't hit a penalty better than that one. It just absolutely no chance for the Boston College goalkeeper, Brennan Klein.
Patty, Ivy League coaches are going to be queuing up to talk to us because we've now talked to Yale twice and said, hey, who's going to take your penalty kicks? They said, that's a good question. We haven't gotten very many. And the next game, boom, there it is. So if Sarah Martinez is watching, the women's coach at Yale, we got your back.
Certainly 2 for 2 now.
We'll see if they can hold this lead. The Yale women didn't in that game against considerable ranked opposition. And the Yale men out in front here, 1-0. 1-2-1 on the road this year. And so we know that form with road games coming up is something to watch. There you see it, 4-1-1 at Reese Stadium, 1-2-1 on the road. Went to Dallas this year to play SMU. Nice homecoming for the goalkeeper, Chris Edwards, who won a national championship at Solar, high school club team, with a couple of SMU players. I always like that when coaches are able to get you a road trip near where you're from later on in your career.
SMU, future ACC team next year. Looking forward to welcoming them into the conference.
Yes, and they are looking forward to it. Had a chance to see them earlier this year. They were ranked 6th in the country, 6-1 on the season, and I was told, yeah, we've only played well for about 45 minutes so far. And I said, well, if you guys can get playing well consistently, you're going to do all right. You see the history of SMU on the men's soccer side. And TJ Prestis, the goal scorer, both parents were captains of SMU teams. So his family's got an interest in SMU soccer, at least, stepping into the ACC.
It's sort of amazing to think we talk year in, year out about how formidable the ACC is as a soccer conference. Right now, 10 teams inside the RPI top 50. Well, they're going to add Stanford and SMU, 2 teams inside the top 6 right now, let alone a very solid Cal Bears program. So should be another fun one, an even more fun one as we build in and add those additions to the league.
Patty and I are touching our noses for the first Stanford road trip. Lagos trying to hold things up in the D. This one comes back out for Farouz, plays internationally for Egypt. Hadn't been there since he was 1 and got to go as a 15-year-old during the pandemic to train and got asked back as well. Part of the youngsters on the Yale side. It is a much more experienced Yale team as compared to Boston College. Now, reminder, our Week 7 ACC Network Saturday college football lineup. Sorry, Patty. Football breaks for nobody. Noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central on Saturday. A command center presentation, Syracuse against number 4 Florida State. Multiple game angles, all kinds of numbers. Then Virginia Tech hosting Wake Forest at 4. And then at 8 Eastern, our ACC Network primetime matchup, number 17 Duke against NC State in Durham. That's the college football slate Saturday right here on the ACC Network. Off the post as Klein was close to it. And Xavi O'Neal able to reach the rebound first for Boston College. Although he's under significant pressure from Farouz. Zaffanella drills it, and that took a deflection out for a corner. Boston College under siege at the moment.
And seemingly out of nowhere, but this is what Max Rogers is capable of doing. Just lines one up from 30 yards and blasts one away. Then the second one coming to Zaffanella, also on frame, a good block in the end, but Yale really pouring it on Boston College here in the first half.
No shots, no corners. Not a lot of pressure for Boston College so far in this one, except withstanding it at this end. Zaffanella kept that down. It came all the way through, and Prestis nearly turned that on goal. Yale frustrated, but really pouring on the pressure.
Well, Boston College had 6s and 7s here, defending in their own box, just chance after chance, wave after wave for Yale. That's a tremendous block off the line from Jake Schaefer to keep this game at 1-0. Excuse me, to Diego Ochoa.
Farouz clipped as he shot it, and he has the free kick coming. Another dangerous restart for Yale here. '29th minute, and this has not gone at all the way Boston College had hoped.
But again, Yale's just sitting in, just baiting Boston College into the turnovers in midfield when they are able to hit the Eagles so quick on the counter. Yet again, running at that Boston College goal, and ultimately Dos Santos has to make a foul. This is another good spot for a set piece for a Yale team that we've already told you is so dynamic on the dead ball opportunities.
Odiambo chasing that one. It is a Yale throw. Farouz tried to go too quickly with it, but it's one back. Prestis left it for Orson. His shot was blocked. The center back's getting up and into the attack for Yale. And Zaffanella right with Odiambo slides that one out of bounds and gives a fist pump and a yell of exertion. Yale on the front foot right now.
And you get a look back here. Maybe a little shout for a handball there in the box. But this Yale team has kept Boston College in. The one time Boston College looks to break out, it's a tremendous tackle there from Diego Zaffanella to snuff it out and not let the Eagles hit on the counter.
Diagonal ball, dangerous one with Odiambo lurking, and it's into the safe hands of Chris Edwards. Kai Mose came in for Yale, replacing Lagos, and that will shift things around with Umanya now playing the forward role. Rogers underneath him, and Mose wide on the right.
Take inside.
Odiambo offside. Free kick for Yale headed the other way. Patty, we talked to Bob Thompson this week. He's happy with the possession. You know, he knows the final third clearly needs work. They're not an offensive juggernaut by any means. But those turnovers and the ball movement tonight has not been up to their standard, you feel?
Well, no question. And when you talk to Bob Thompson, he was very pleased with how this team is capable of moving the ball and what they've been able to do in possession through the first 11 games of this year. This is not how it's been, though. And Yale is frustrating Boston College. And you talk about the work needed in the final third for Boston College. Well, they're not even getting to the final third because they've been unable to break down Yale's midfield, and they've been unable to advance the ball into the attacking half, let alone final third. So you got to think as we tick down into halftime, some tactical changes needed for Boston College and perhaps an additional number in midfield just to see if you can start to find the pockets of space, break down Yale in between the lines, and start to get at the Bulldogs, because Yale has been fantastic in the opening half hour of this game.
Sander Pele, 14 just into the game, gets onto the ball here. Little hesitation move on O'Neal. And Klein at the full stretch of his reach, using his fingertips to pull that one in.
Well, and yet again, it's a really good switch of the ball across the field to find Sander Pele. He does well to get end line here, but we told you in the open, Brendan Klein, that athleticism in and around the 6-yard box, a really good take there from the junior goalkeeper.
Sander, good. Good, Sander. Hold. Hold. Step it up. Good cross, Sander. Stay tight. Tighter now, tighter now, tighter now. You gotta come back, Sander. You gotta come back. You gotta run. Listen back. Sander, tight. Right.
Second ball won by Rogers in the midfield for Yale. Just overcooked it for Pele. Yasin Ali in off the bench for Yale. You score a goal and you get more playing time the next game. That's usually how it works. He had the clincher against Dartmouth. Again, able to run the big green ragged a bit with 10 men most of the game. Ended up as a 2-0 win for Yale, trying to go 7 unbeaten tonight. And out to a 1-0 lead, courtesy of TJ Prestis's penalty kick. Moritz Gundelach, 27, the right center back for Boston College. Nice 20-year-old freshman coming in from Nuremberg in Germany. Big switch, one of the few times we've been able to call Jonathan Murphy's name. Trying to connect with Alfie Hughes, and that ran out of bounds for a goal kick. Now, we told you Yale out to the 1-0 lead. As we look back at Prestis, the goal scorer, trying to shield off Hughes. Second goal of the season, both on penalties for the center back, who's played every minute. His dad, Tom, MLS stalwart, goalkeeper for years before injury forced him into retirement, actually shortly after TJ was born. This is Xavi O'Neal cutting centrally. Cargill kept it moving, but blindly, and it was behind the intended target. As we go back to Yale in the 23rd minute.
It was a giveaway in the midfield, a bad ball by C.J. Williams, and then just a step late, taking Lagos down. And make no mistake there from T.J. Prestis, kisses it off the inside of the post to put Yale up 1-0. A tremendous penalty from the junior.
That's the difference in the game. Yale has been clearly the more confident group. 7 shots to nothing for Boston College. It felt like after that goal, they grew even more confident. I'm not saying heads went down, but it seemed like it really picked up Yale, and they've kept the pressure on.
Well, they've been committed to the game plan that they came in with, and that's setting up tactically to play with the ball in front of them. And they've been 2 blocks of 4. They've really baited Boston College into some poor giveaways in the midfield. They were rewarded by converting one into a penalty kick. But we've seen a lot of this. Blue shirts behind the ball, and Boston College with very few ideas into how to break down those blue shirts and get at the Yale goal.
38th minute in this one. Yale leading Boston College on a Tuesday night in Newton, Massachusetts. With Patty Foss, I'm Jonathan Yardley, enjoying this one so far. But not a lot of enjoyment for the home fans or those in gold so far. Again, no shots yet for Boston College. And a lot of frustration trying to get through that Yale midfield. Augie Boadi into the game for Boston College. One of the guys they want to get chances in front of the goal. They trust him to take them, but as Patty said, they haven't sniffed the goal in a while. They've been sniffing a whole lot of other stuff. Now, Saturday afternoon, a special time of 2 Eastern. The ACC Huddle Crew will kick off the afternoon from Wallace Wade Stadium in Durham. 90-minute pregame show leading into Wake Forest and Virginia Tech. They'll wrap up the afternoon games and get you set for NC State and Duke at 8. Stay right here on ACC Network all day Saturday. Complete wrap-up late Saturday night. Interviews with players and coaches from the Duke-NC State contest. The ACC Huddle Crew keeping you covered on Saturday. This is Kai Mose. Able to win a throw for Yale on that far side. Rogers, English-born, Australian-raised, beat one, and tremendous layoff, and the shot didn't live up to the buildup.
All right, another good ball into the box. A good clearance initially from Ochoa to clear this ball, but Yale just continues to put it on. Rogers going to work down that right-hand side, laying one off to Kai Mose, and ultimately bounces up and skies it. But Yale will feel hard done not to be up multiple goals in this first half because they've really done everything right through 40 minutes.
Right.
Final 5 minutes of the first half here with Yale leading Boston College 1-0 on a TJ Prestis penalty kick. They've also hit the post and a couple of other chances that didn't go for them. We'll hear from both coaches at halftime. We'll hear from the Boston College players on most influential people in their lives. And we'll take a look back at the first half. That's all coming up on our ACC Network halftime report. The Jonathan Murphy frustrated after he was unable to catch up to that one. Drew Serafino checking in for Boston College. No Daniel Klarich, who was kind of expected to be the number 9 up top for Boston College for most of this season. And so it's been mix and match and try and fit guys in to that central position. Also, no Aiden Farwell tonight for the Eagles. No Connor Gibson, who's a midfielder. And again, back in action, short turnaround, only 2 days rest before they go Friday at Louisville. Saw Boadi able to keep it there, but Boston College having to win a second ball to get it back with Cargill. Out wide for Murphy, their leading scorer. Got room, Boadi, Burkhart. over the top. It's a first shot for Boston College and one of their best sustained spells of the game.
Well, definitely the best combination play all night here for Boston College. Finally getting the ball wide, allowing Jonathan Murphy to do what he does best, go to work down that left-hand side. Ultimately, the effort in the end from Jack Burkhart, not going to test Chris Edwards in that Yale net, but a little bit of a positive side heading into halftime for Boston College.
As we mentioned, first shot of the game for Boston College there in the 43rd minute. See Ryder Mills, number 25 in Navy, in there for Yale. MLS Next MVP last year with FC Cincinnati. Been limited by injury, so they're glad to get him back and try and get him comfortable in Ivy League play. Loose touch there. Won by O'Neal for Boston College, but he gives it right back. Room for Murphy. Looking for some hold-up play from Serafino. He's into the penalty area. Went end line with Zaffarella staying right with him. And Serafino ran out of room to get the cross off.
And this is such a good turn initially from Drew Serafino. His second touch here or third touch towards the end line just lets him down just a little bit heavy in the end, but that's really positive from the substitute Drew Serafino to spin Jamie Orson and get inside that Yale 18-yard box.
And if you're forward sitting on the bench for 41 minutes, you have to take your few chances when you get in. You don't have a lot of time here to make an impression, and Serafino with tremendous back-to-goal play. And he just couldn't follow up in the box. Time running down. Yale wants to get one more effort into the penalty area. Umanya was the target. He was wide open. And it went for a corner. Yale will try to get this off.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Can't do anything with it in the end, but it was that kind of half. Yale pushing the buttons and Boston College reacting. And Yale Lee coaching him up until he joined the Columbus Crew Academy. And again, his mom was a captain as well at SMU, so he comes by the soccer bug quite honestly. Kylie Standard really paid him a heck of a compliment. He said his superpower is his game intelligence. I mean, really respect the way he can organize that back line.
Not only the back line, but he really has been the field general in organizing the guys in front of him. And when we talk about even that first 45 and how Yale was able to frustrate Boston College through the way they set up, it's large part due to that verbal leader in TJ Prestis really organizing the guys around him. A fantastic first 45 all around from the Bulldogs.
Underway in the second half. Yale with a 1-0 lead, trying to get the win on the road. Boston College hoping for a big response in this second half. And Patty, we asked Bob Thompson when we talked to him this week, we said, what was your worst 45 minutes of the year? And he said, the first half at NC State, no question. And they lost that game. And he said, every time we've had a setback, whether it was that one or giving up a late goal to Virginia, these guys have responded with great training sessions and great positivity. We'll see if they can turn that into action in this second half. You can see Drew Serafino racing around. He and Boadi, number 5, stay in to start the second half for Boston College. Big energy from that near sideline as Jonathan Murphy fought off Kai Most to win the ball there. Boston College plays what I call a 3-4-2-1. Some will call it a 5-4-1 with kind of a box in the middle. Trying to play through the middle of that park against Yale and unable to do it. And that was textbook right there with Yale closing down the ball. Feruz and Rogers interchange passes, and the last one gets away. There's that switch that Boston College wanted to get. Xavi O'Neal looking for Serafino, too high for him. Kept alive by Murphy. Prestis knocked it away, and the follow-up by Burkhart not close to the target.
But it's a really positive move here from Boston College, and it's something we really didn't see anything of in the first half. A long ball from Jack Burkhart to play out that Yale midfield and get the ball into wide areas. When we talked to Bob Thompson at half, remember, he said, we've got to get the ball wide, we've got to stretch Yale, and then get at them in possession. A better start here in the opening minutes of the second half for Boston College.
That's the second shot for Boston College. Good sign for them to get the first one of the half. I mean, just generating chances, no matter the game, has been a bit uphill for Boston College this year. Again, 6 freshmen in the game, most of the minutes played by freshmen and sophomores. And an ACC play, the goal they scored against Virginia was their first goal in almost a year after being shut out in the first 4 conference games.
You got to give a lot of credit to Bob Thompson and what he's done with this Boston College program. Well, really from a culture point of view and a stylistic, they play a really attractive brand of soccer. That being said, at times in that first half, they can get punished for really trying to overpossess against teams that want to sit in a little bit more. So can you see a young Boston College team develop before your eyes, see if they can go a little bit more direct and try to test Yale like here over the top?
That one was caught offside as they tried to play the restart quickly. Bob Thompson, an ACC tournament MVP himself at Boston College years ago. A lot of players from the New England Revolution Academy, or who at one time appeared in the New England Revolution Academy, as Thompson is a former Rev. And this will be another attacking half free kick for Yale.
It's just a clumsy foul here. Just a little bit overzealous there is Cargill on Kai Most, but we've talked about Max Rogers and how dynamic he is on the set piece here. Look for him just to drop one in just in front of Brendan Klein in that 6-yard box. See if he can find a blue shirt.
Diego, watch the 22 coming. Drew on the backside.
Wow, Jamie Orson, the target of that. CJ Williams let it go, and he had read it correctly, that it had enough pace to get out of play.
I don't mind the idea here from Max Rogers. Everybody on the field thinks this ball's going back post. He tries to pick out an ongoing Orson. In the end, nothing doing, but a really clever play there, or attempt from Max Rogers.
Sideman looking long. Alex Umanya is the forward here. Eric Lagos remains out to start the second half. That pass picked off by Mose. And Cargill able to deny Rogers the change of field. Schaefer with an errant pass to give it back to Boston College. And the foul whistled behind the play. It'll be a free kick for the Eagles coming out. Some interesting scores around the ACC and even around the country tonight. North Carolina, 3-0 lead on UNCG. Notre Dame, 3-0 lead on Oberlin. Duke, Elon, Wake, Wofford, both scoreless at the half. Syracuse, though, trailing to Temple 1-0 at halftime. Yale will play at Syracuse next week. And Louisville, Boston College's next opponent, beating Ohio State 1-0 at halftime. And that delivery out of play. First corner kick of the game for Boston College. And the first half, we should tell you, the only half that they've played this season without getting a single corner. So don't waste much time getting one here in the second.
Well, in a game in which you haven't had much going offensively, so important. Boston College takes their time, does this right, gets the big bodies in CJ Williams and Moritz Gundelach in the box. See if you can manufacture a chance on the set piece.
Ted Cargill, the sophomore from London, to deliver. Plan was to go short. Shot took a deflection, and Yale able to get to it. It is a Boston College throw. You like the short option there?
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting play because I just finished saying you want to get the big bodies in the box, and CJ Williams, see a good touch in the box here.
Boati's cross deflected, another corner coming. Boston College starting to press.
If you're Boston College, though, you have 6'2" CJ Williams, 6'2" Moritz Gundelach. Neither one of them in the box for a corner here. You see a good touch there from Murphy trying to spring one in behind. But Boston College much more active at going at Yale to start this second half.
Williams, one of the targets, we think, for corner kick number 2. Turns out to be the main target. Ball sent back across. Won by Boati for Boston College. Cargill into the penalty area, trying to lay it off for Dos Santos, and couldn't connect. That one drifted too close to Chris Edwards, and he tries to go quickly for Yale with Feruz.
You can step back. Turn back. Get us sorted. Go. Strong, go. Up. Run through. If you step, you're not. Yeah, you got it.
Kind of neat to be able to hear so many sounds of the game. Great work by our crew. Yale on the move once again with Schaefer slaloming forward. Right back, not running out of ideas, but in the end running out of room. And it just winds up as a goal kick. Wants to be an aerospace engineer, by the way. Glad I'm not taking those classes. If you're Boston College, what's the biggest difference that we're seeing in the first 10 minutes of this second half that we didn't see in the first when they were really struggling to get anything going?
Well, they've been much more direct in the first 10 minutes here. This game has opened up, and Yale has been a little bit less sitting back. As you see an opportunity there on another counterattack, but Boston College has asked questions over the top of Yale in this first 10 minutes of the second half. That's not something we saw in the first 45, so we talk about Boston College and that man, Bob Thompson, wanting to play through possession, wanting to break you down in between the lines. When Yale's sitting in, though, you got to be a little bit more direct. That's what we've seen to start the second half, and Boston College looking a lot more dangerous here, opening that second frame.
And his message at halftime seemed to be, we're picking the wrong moments to be direct and need to draw them in a bit with possession before we do that. And again, early dividends in the second half in terms of chances. Now it's up to Boston College to create high-quality chances, A, and finish at least one, B.
But I think you got to be direct before Yale does this, sits into those 2 blocks of 4 and gets really compact, because then it's hard to find not only space in between the lines, but space over the top. So when the ball turns over, it's got to be really quick from Boston College, trying to get on that counterattack, put balls over the top, and stretch this Bulldogs team that's been so compact through 50 minutes here.
Chance on the left for Yale through the middle, and it turns back to Boston College. A reminder, games coming up for you on ACC Network. On the women's side, Thursday night, number 1 Florida State taking on number 11 Notre Dame, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 Central, here on ACC Network and the ESPN app on Thursday night. Men's soccer doubleheader Friday as well. Virginia Tech, Notre Dame at 6. Duke, NC State at 8. Brought down well by O'Neal. Now Ochoa. Awkward clearance, but Yale is able to get it away. Again, more shots in the first 15 minutes of this second half than Boston College had in the entire first half. And now an attacking half free kick for the Eagles as Dos Santos is fouled.
And finally, some sustained pressure here from Boston College. You see the ball into the box here from Ochoa. Just that cross-field ball, trying to ask questions, get in behind, get players in really good spots, and ultimately, it's a good block in the end from Yale on the initial shot. But these are the plays, these are the moments in which Boston College was lacking in the first half to get the ball, to stretch the field, and to ask questions of Yale. Really good start here in the opening 14 minutes for Bob Thompson's men.
And again, from the free kick, they elected to go short and keep possession rather than target the penalty area. Now they turn it over. The 60th minute, Yale in front on a TJ Prestis penalty kick. Back in the 23rd minute, Prestis on the ball here. And Yale totally dominated the first half, frustrating Boston College. Outshot them 8-1, didn't give up that lone shot until the 43rd minute. But the second half has been a different story. Boston College yet to force a save, however, from Chris Edwards in the Yale goal. Newton, Massachusetts, the site for this one, where Boston College has been so good at home. With Patty Foss, national champion at Virginia, I'm Jonathan Yardley. Proud to bring you continued coverage of ACC soccer, men's and women's. Told you, big women's game Thursday night and a men's doubleheader on Friday to follow this week. Rare giveaway from Klein at the back. And slid out of bounds by O'Neal, recovering for a couple of people. And it'll be a corner.
All right, it's a ball over the top here from Yale, just looking for Alex Umanya, and a shank from Brendan Klein there, allowing Yale to come right back down the pipe and create another chance. Another corner coming here for Yale.
Fourth corner of the game for Yale. Rogers' best delivery. It's just over the top off of Prestis, and Brennan Klein to the rescue again.
And we've seen Max Rogers with the in-swinger, this time from the left side, the outswinger, looking for big TJ Prestis in the 6-yard box. It's really well done in the end from Diego Ochoa to come across and get the block, because that is a point-blank header for TJ Prestis headed on frame.
Ryan Cote in for Yale. Honestly, Rogers' set-piece delivery's been kind of spotty today. That last one was well short, but you saw the danger when he gets it right that Yale can pose. Jake Schaefer comes over to take. Mom is a Division III national champion for William Smith College, and she was his first coach. As nothing came from that one, and Boston College will try to build out of the back here. Brennan Klein credits his left-footed abilities to Lionel Messi. He said, I wanted to do everything like Messi. Don't know that previous delivery would be one to put on that reel. I gotta tell you, Patty, I was at a soccer field the other day, and I think I saw, out of maybe 14 kids, I saw 3 Messi jerseys, 2 Miami, they already got one, and 1 Argentina. And most of the rest of the kids were wearing, you know, whatever jersey of their regular club team. So it's catching on everywhere.
It's certainly good for the American game, just to get eyes on the product, and a product in MLS that's ever evolving, ever getting better. Although I'm not sure how many of them could tell you that Inter Miami is at the basement of the league.
They're the League's Cup champions, Patty. That's what matters. They're in the Champions League next year. That's what we're Champions Cup now. 64th minute here. Yale with a 1-0 lead. They have not looked super comfortable in this second half. Boston College has asked a lot more questions as Cote chases that one. And it's out for a goal kick.
Well, it's been an interesting opening 19 minutes of the second half, because you're right, Boston College has asked more questions, but we haven't seen Yale drop into that very tactical formation we saw in the first half, which was the 4-4-2, 2 blocks of 4, making it really hard to break down. This game's been a little bit more stretched and a little bit more open, which favors Boston College as they look to find that equalizer.
Alfie Hughes returns for Boston College, and Felipe Schwartz in for the first time for Yale. Schwartz, 17, chasing the ball at the moment. That long switch finds Hughes. Has support with Ochoa. CJ Williams in the middle of the field. Cargill chipping it through for Javi O'Neal. That time the first touch a little casual. Will be a Boston College throw in the corner.
Such quality in midfield there from Ted Cargill, just to clip this one over the top, looking for an on-rushing Javi O'Neal. If this first touch is a little bit better, you got to think O'Neal's in on frame and perhaps puts one on Chris Edwards' net, but really good stuff in the midfield from Ted Cargill to clip that one over the top.
Ochoa kind of caught of 2 minds there, and Edwards able to dive on it. Now, our ACC Network Saturday college football lineup coming up this weekend. Noon Eastern, a command center presentation of Syracuse at number Florida State starts the day. Virginia Tech and Wake Forest meet in the afternoon. And the ACC Network primetime clash is number 17 Duke hosting NC State in Durham, 8 Eastern on ACC Network and the ESPN app. And the Huddle crew, as you covered before, between and after each contest. That's all Saturday here on the ACC Network. It's your men's soccer fix with the doubleheader Friday night. And heck, it's your Florida State Notre Dame on the women's side Thursday night before that as well. This is the possession Boston College wanted to see. How do they break down this tight Yale midfield? Alfie Hughes with some space. Clearance not all the way out yet. Marco Dos Santos. Similar to the C.J. Williams goal from Friday against Virginia, as O'Neal's shot deflected out for a corner.
But it's good side to side from Boston College there. You can see a quick one into the box, but Boston College now getting side to side, putting the ball in wide areas and creating chances. That's what they were lacking in that first half. This one, a good ball into the box from Alfie Hughes. And you see all the blue shirts for Yale's trying to make it really tough to put one on frame in the end, but Boston College a lot more dangerous to open this second period.
Jamie Orson steps onto that number 6 for Yale. Got it forward to Joseph Ferruz, just back into the game. And Orson a little over-ambitious with that touch. Turns over to O'Neal. Stutter steps between two. Dos Santos delivery headed clear by Schaefer. Schaefer will chase it down in the end, I beg your pardon, and it'll be a Boston College throw.
It's just class here from Javi O'Neal, running through the midfield, stretching that Yale back line, and then knocking one wide into a good space for Marco Dos Santos. And again, a good ball into the box, and ultimately Yale and Jonathan Seidman up to the challenge, but really quality stuff to open this second half for Boston College.
See the edge in second half looks for Boston College as Klein with a big switch finds Alfie Hughes. He couldn't keep it on the field of play, and it'll be a goal kick. Again, no Eric Lagos up top for Yale since the 27th minute, shortly after the penalty kick. This looks a little different up top for them, as Jonathan Burkhart whistled for the foul.
But it's a good cut there. Just a little bit of sauce in the midfield there from Sam Hershey, but maybe making a little bit of a meal of it too. Nonetheless, John McCloskey there on the spot to call the foul.
He stopped the clock, and for a while I thought we were going to get no yellow card and just chit-chat, but it is a yellow card for Burkhart there in the 70th minute. Marco Dos Santos, the only player on either team who's in danger of missing a game due to suspension. Cargill's already served his. Orson wide open. Look, he had acres of space, one of the main targets, and put it wide. How do you leave a center back that wide open from a dead ball?
Well, especially a dead ball near midfield, just lofted into the box. Big 6'3", Jamie Orson, wide open, 8 yards out. That is a chance he will want back, because a golden opportunity to double the Yale lead.
You're looking back and you're just hoping the flag is up so that it wouldn't have counted. That's the one time you want to be offside, is when you made the meal of it. Or a mess of it, I guess, is the accurate way to say that. Long diagonal again proves dangerous for Boston College. Hershey with a shove. That is a veteran to freshman college soccer moment. Another free kick for BC. They take it quickly through the middle.
And just Xavi O'Neal been so active, but they're just a little off balance. Sam Hershey knows what he's doing, bumps him off.
O'Neal out of the DC United Academy. His dad, Jerry, played at West Virginia. Had started the first 9 games of the year at left wing back. Come off the bench for a couple, and now he pops up at right wing back today. And he's about to turn 19 later this week. Got a couple of birthday boys on the field today. Zaffanella whistled for the foul, and Dos Santos took the worst of it.
Marco Dos Santos been so active in that midfield there. Just puts his body in between the ball and Diego Zaffanella. Zaffanella straight through Dos Santos. Certainly a foul, and perhaps worthy of a booking there in midfield.
Yeah, John McCloskey was warning. He was saying persistent infringement here, 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 and here. The next one is a card. Pretty nice for Boston College to recruit in their backyard, bring in 2 players from the MLS Next Under-19 champions the last 2 years, the New England Revolution, with Burkhart and Dos Santos coming into that midfield. Cargill found Dos Santos, battling with Zaffanella again. He kept the ball in and went charging out of play. No call, and the ball cleared to midfield. Big moment there.
And I think there's no chance Marco Dos Santos is getting that call in this game, though. You got to ask questions, because certainly a lot of contact there on the end line.
He kept the ball in play, and he got basically thrown out of bounds. You kind of got to think about it. He's on the ball again here. Left-footed delivery is dangerous and is headed clear by Prestis for Yale. Or no, they say it came off a BC head last as we go back.
Marco Dos Santos, again, like you say, keeps this one in, and I think that's not enough contact for going away from goal in the box from Diego Zaffanella, though. We see now
he had no idea who they were talking about. And so
he immediately territory.
Yeah, he immediately went and looked up who Tim Howard was and said, this is someone I should be learning from. Hughes got that cross away into a dangerous spot again, with Serafino putting a body on Jamie Orson. And Boston College, with time dwindling, continues to push forward. '78th minute from Newton, Mass. And Boston College trailing at home. They've only lost 1 non-conference game here the last 4 years. I'm Jonathan Yardley. He's Patty Foss. Yale leads on a TJ Prestis first half penalty kick. Yale controlled the first half. Boston College has been much improved in this second, and that chance from Serafino a few minutes ago was their best chance to tie this one up, as Yale tries to go unbeaten in 7 straight. O'Neal with the step-overs with the delivery, and it's right to the goalkeeper, Edwards, at the near post.
It's more good work down that end line for Xavi O'Neal. As we get a look back, this is how we got here. TJ Prestis converting on what was an Eric Lagos drawn penalty. Certainly the right decision to point to the spot there from John McCloskey, and TJ Prestis, no mistake, smashes this one home off the inside of the post to find the game's only goal thus far.
Boston College has taken twice as many shots as Yale in this second half, chasing the game. Finally forced a couple of saves out of Edwards. One of them, again, that close-range look by Serafino. As you see Yale readying substitutes near the halfway line. See, the 3-man back line is really spread out now as Boston College tries to get everybody else forward. Brought down by Felipe Schwartz. Diagonal ball looking for Ferruz, and Jack Burkhart did just enough to put him off and win it back for BC. Ochoa essentially well done to find Dos Santos. He has runners. O'Neal looking back post too far for Alfie Hughes, who didn't get a touch on it.
That's poor service in the end from Javi O'Neal, but that is such a good ball from Diego Ochoa into the midfield to finally unlock Yale through that space in front of their back four. Ultimately, though, this is a poor service from that right-hand side. One of the only ones of the night for Javi O'Neal, who's been really, really promising as a freshman.
And again, it bears reiterating, Boston College starting 6 freshmen. About 75% of the team's minutes come from freshmen and sophomores. And they hope they are a couple years away. Well, not a couple. They hope they are a year away, maybe, from turning all that promise into ACCW. Offside flag up against Alfie Hughes. Free kick for Yale. Ryder Mills back in for Yale, 25 up there. Second ball falls to Boadi. He was closed down by Orson and wisely lays it off. O'Neal with the left foot, blocked by Orson and kept in play by the goalkeeper Edwards. Ochoa slid to get that away. Schaefer wants to let it run out. Instead, Boadi played it off of him. It's a Boston College throw-in. Ochoa, space on the right. You can see O'Neal calling for it. Cargill finds him. Ahead for Dos Santos. Sliding tackle by Cote. And it's going out the other way. Free kick for Yale.
It's a good idea from Javi O'Neal, trying to slip it in behind for Dos Santos, but that is an impeccably timed challenge from Ryan Cote not to allow the ball to across and to play it back off Dos Santos for the goal kick.
Yeah, I thought they called the handball in real time, but you're right, goal kick. That allows Yale to switch the field. '83rd minute as Boston College chases this one. Not enough room to catch up to that one, not for lack of effort from Dos Santos. It's been that kind of day for Boston College, turning the ball over often in the midfield, Patty.
This sort of is the story of the game for Boston College, just not cleaning up through midfield. Yale's been sitting in, baiting Boston College into turnovers just like this. This was the most important of the game, obviously led to the penalty kick, but just across the board, Yale's done a really good job sitting in, picking their times, and picking the ball up in really dangerous spots.
Okay, Blue, let's go, please.
Next one.
You could hear the referee, John McCloskey, saying, okay, Blue, let's go, please. Sander Pele, neat little bit of head tennis. Now he's on the run. Going to the left foot over the top, had some knuckle on it. Really dangerous look for the two-footed Pele.
Well, that's a good run through midfield from Sander Pele. Just nobody from Boston College stepping up and asking questions of Pele. That one does not miss much, trying to dip down and get under that bar in the end, but been so impressed with Yale really all night in being able to soak in that Boston College pressure, to accept it, and then to pick their spots, just as you saw there from Pele, to go at Boston College and try to find that second goal.
His dad, Tiber, played for UCLA and still coaches on the West Coast. Sanders spent a good amount of time in Barcelona. Really, his soccer influence is Johan Cruyff, so good person and program to learn from. Yale continued to get its subs in before the 5-minute mark, including Matias Alberola, who we've barely seen this year. Oh, so we've seen that how many times tonight? Just really simple passes, giving the ball the other way. Under 5 minutes to play here. Boston College trying to pull a result out of the fire here. They do not lose on this field often. Space inside. Serafino quickly closed down by Ali. Alfie Hughes 1v1, skims it in low, and Prestis got it away. Diego Ochoa, the captain's armband to throw. Now Gundelach. Yale can't hold it, and Boston College will try again. Dos Santos. Now Ochoa. Headed clear by the deep part of that Yale back line. Alberola is locked in as a third center back for Yale right now. Alfie Hughes one-on-one in the corner. Took a deflection and is held by Edwards before it could run out of play.
And you can just see the body language across the Yale 11 on the field right now. So committed to seeing this game out and so passionate each and every play that they're able to come away with not allowing Boston College a chance on frame, just trying to see this one out be a massive road result.
They play at Harvard on the weekend, at Syracuse next week. Any points from these road games are critical for Yale. Alfie Hughes, corner of the area. See everybody from Yale packed in the last 30 yards of the field, and Umanya just boots it across halfway. They'll stop the clock as Yale does have more subs to make here. And when you're the winning team subbing in the last 5 minutes, they stop the clock, and that'll see the return of Eric Lagos for the first time since the 27th minute. Trying to save his legs, I would imagine, somewhat for Saturday and keep him from injury, but need a hold-up option these final 2 minutes. Schaefer thought that took a deflection off O'Neal. Instead, it's a BC throw. Final 2 minutes here. Serafino trying to find the right spot with the clock running. Allowed to bounce. Orson whiffed on it, and it's driven right into the arms of Edwards. That would have been some kind of finish. Yale with a huge sigh of relief.
And this one almost manufactured. You said it, just Jamie Orson, a complete whiff, falls to Morris Gondelak and can't quite put enough mustard on it to put past Chris Edward, but a golden chance with 90 seconds remaining there for the Boston College Eagles.
That's a center back's nightmare.
That wasn't C.J. Williams' nightmare on Friday against Virginia, I'll tell you that.
No. It's one center back's nightmare and another center back's dream. And this is one reason Lagos is in there. Go to the corner. He's got the prize fighting, both fists pumped in the air. I did it. And instead it goes as a goal kick. 15 seconds coming down the home stretch. Yellow card foul will stop the clock and give Boston College a free kick and a chance to pour everybody forward as Rogers takes the yellow.
It's got to be everybody in the box for Boston College. 11 seconds. Just have Jack Bernhard put this one in the box.
They take it quickly. No, they're not allowed to. And they need to get the time back on the clock while they're at it.
And that might be a gift there to hold that one short, because you do not want to take that quickly. With only 11 seconds, you're not going to have enough time to get a ball in the box.
I'm with you. The goalkeeper, Klein, is up. Everybody attacking for Boston College. O'Neal, you can hear everybody saying, shoot it now. Not enough on it. And Yale comes away with a road win, holding on down the stretch. 7 games.